Oilers postgame following a 4-2 defeat from the Brooks Bandits, and with me now is the man who scored both goals for the Okotoks Oilers tonight, Sam Huck. Sam, this game kind of had a couple different storylines to it. The 13-0 loss yesterday in Brooks, and right off the hop, the Bandits get 18 shots, but it's still the fifth shot of the period in the first. You are able to bank it home. Just kind of what did you guys see on the bench and during this game? Because it could have gone a couple different directions, but this team found a way to make it tight and close.
Yeah, after they scored the first goal, we just had to stay positive, not give up, because we were playing pretty well still, just not getting shots on net. So we just had to forecheck the demon hard and just go to the net hard.
Looking at that first goal, because I'll ask you about the second one in a second here, but you got to reach and curl. How many times have you practiced that, and how you guys were able to get that goal and have yourself in a 1-1 tie with the top team in the country?
Yeah, that goal, I didn't really expect it to go in. I was just trying to get another puck on net to make a rebound for something, and luckily the goalie wasn't in position and it squeaked in.
Fair enough, and just kind of as the game progressed, this Bandit team showed their experience, but in the third period, I think the Oilers had really good pushback, and if you would have told me that would have happened after a 13-0 game yesterday, I would have probably called you a liar. But how did things go in that third period, just with your goal and what happened after that goal?
Yeah, like last night, how we lost 13-0 kind of fueled us into this game, not wanting to let them get all over us like that. So in the third period, we tried to come out hard, get pucks on net, and just take over the game. And yeah,
when you're taking a puck away from a goaltender just through your second goal, how does one kind of approach when you're bearing down on a goaltender that does handle the puck the way that Ethan Barwick does, and you can force a turnover and have an open net?
I was just trying to see which way his hand was facing, and if he moved slightly to pass it one way, and luckily he hit me with the puck.
Fair enough. Just now, the rest of the week, it's a big week for this Oilers team. In a perfect world, you want to run the table. It starts on Monday against Calgary, a pair of games coming up before Black Falls, which could be a first-round opponent for you guys, still to be determined with home ice in there. Is it just a great way that you have this game the way it ended and how it sets up the rest of the week, which is going to be very busy for you guys?
Yeah, it's a good way to end this series with Brooks, having to play a good game, leading us into our next two games against Calgary and then with Black Falls.
You guys have done it all year. This will be my last question, is just injuries again. You guys have to step up in the roles that maybe you're accustomed to now because you were thrown in so early, but now here, and you gave this Bandit team a push. And what does that mean going forward against Calgary starting on Monday?
Yeah, it gives us a lot of confidence, especially the younger guys getting experience and going into these kind of games, and let's just hoping to play well and get the 2 points each day.
Sam, congratulations on the 2 goals. Tough way to lose here tonight, but we'll see you on Monday here on Family Day against Calgary.
Thank you, Gino.
With Oilers assistant coach Reid Hnatowich following the 4-2 loss to the Brooks Bandits. Reid, I think if you're coming back from a 13-0 game and that ends up the way that this team came back, especially in that third period and had some fight, I think kudos to this Oilers team with a short staff again against the top team in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite proud of the collective group and heading out and having that kind of bounce back the way that we did. Obviously would have liked with the results to be different, but I think, heading into playoffs, if we sit and we play our structured game like the way we did for 60 minutes tonight, avoid some of those penalties with it, I think we're in a pretty good spot heading into this last stretch here.
I was going to say, how does this loss, even though it is a loss, set you up for the rest of the week? It's Calgary on Monday, in Calgary on Wednesday, then home and home against Black Falls, which could be your first-round opponent. There's a couple other parameters I would go into, but I won't tonight. But just how does this game, with your short staff, who you're playing this week, and just how things kind of shape up for you guys?
Yeah, obviously, if you look at that score sheet tonight, the majority of their points were coming from that one line. So I think, when we managed them quite nicely when they weren't on the ice, 5-on-5, I thought we did well. And it was a collective group. I thought all of our forwards were dialed and detailed, and I thought our D played structured. And then Saka, obviously, in between the pipes was very calm and composed with how he played. So being focused, heading into these games with that mindset, that competitiveness, that ready to go from the start is our biggest one. And obviously this week, we'll practice tomorrow, get our feet, into it, heading into the Family Day Monday. But we have a big week to sit here and prep. And obviously we want to piece together as much games as possible where we're playing that playoff mentality, that playoff style hockey.
I want to follow up on Parker Suck. I feel like his last 5 starts, I call them quality starts for him, where he's been on the losing end of a handful of those games, but you can't fault him. And just the evolution of his game, I think Jack McNaughton has a big reason to do with it with his tutelage, and also just getting that confidence back. And has had a very rocky junior career where he starts as a backup, then Ashton Abel comes in, he's got to kind of sit in the bullpen, and then back here, and then COVID, and just now here kind of setting himself up for hopefully what's a big game, a big season for him, and even next year as he comes back as hopefully your team starter.
Yeah, like even just looking at his last 2 starts, obviously you got the Lloydminster one, really tough game on a Sunday after the long bus trips and stuff like that, and then tonight against Brooks, big task, especially with the game yesterday heading into today, and he's one when that moment's big and the guys can rally around him. He settles the game down nicely, and he's kind of easing in and finding his way too. But super excited with the way that he was composed tonight, and then obviously in that Lloyd game as well as his last one. Last one gave us another opportunity to win.
Last one for you. I'm going to do it in 2 parts so we can close out here. Sam Huck, 2 goals. Finally gets off the schneid since January 15th. But when he scores that second goal, the crowd noise and the support this team got, their biggest attendance of the year. It was fun to be at the rink. You could hear roars when things were happening. And just what you see from Sam and just the overall atmosphere from tonight's game because of his game.
Yeah, like, Huck is one of those guys we've talked to numerous times with all the skill and capabilities in the world, and he's slowly starting to kind of find his way in terms of how he can be a productive and predominant piece every single shift. When he's skating, when he's showcasing his athleticism, when he's playing fast and playing within his pace, he's a pretty exciting player to watch. And with regards to the crowd tonight, just super exciting with obviously the crowd, the way the Jumbotron's working, the atmosphere, the game day experience. I think it's becoming a pretty cool place to be in the Okotoks area for sure.
Reid, appreciate the time, and we'll see you on the bench for pregame against Calgary on Monday.
Thanks, Gino.